Oh, welcome back, magical soul, to another Magi Monday. My name is Andrea Blythe, and I'm the traveling Magi of Let Love Rise. And today we are here to converse about the conversation card, the Two of Clubs, and we are joined by a special guest today, straight from the Joyful Soul Circle, a Two of Clubs herself. Let's give a fabulous jazz hands welcome to Kelly Lopeman. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you. Jazz hands to you for inviting me. I'm so glad to be here.
That's just a little joyful soul welcome. It's like jazz hands if, jazz hands if. So, yes, I'm so glad you're here. You are the card of conversation. And I love inviting people into conversations about these cards and really how they can be helpful in guiding us. And then also, you're kind of like going to be the expert here. Are you up for that?
I will do my very best.
And what I mean by you being the expert is just this is your experience, right? And what I have is this wisdom, this ancient prophetic wisdom that we all know as playing cards that are indeed an astrological book of guidance. And one of the things that I can see is based on the numerology, the symbology of the card, and also the astrology of the cards, how the cards through your soul roadmap are guiding you. Yet, there is nothing like the experience of your own life itself. So I'm so glad that you carved out a little bit of time to have a conversation about the conversations card. And before I dive too far into the meaning, when I first shared with you, I think we met at a GOL event, a Gathering of Lightworkers event. It's a group here in the Boise area. And I think I shared with you that you're the card of conversation. Do you remember that, or or how did that land on you? Like, huh, Two of Clubs? What does that mean?
I was, the more I thought about it, I was like, that totally makes sense. I absolutely love to have conversations with people. Like going to coffee and just a good chat is awesome. And when I met you at the GOL event, you had me at cards because I've been with my family since I was a wee little girl, and so I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting."
It's fascinating, right? Because I too, I grew up, my grandparents, I wrote a story called Unlock Your Magic, and I was remembering my grandparents, they taught me the suits of the cards. There was this special solitaire game. It's not the one that most people know. That was just really fun for me to get into these cards. And it's just kind of funny to see like, oh wow. And then I also had this gift my whole life of being able to remember people's birthdays. And somehow the combination of the two together have developed into becoming my purpose and my passion and in what I call volume two of my life. Because this system is based on the solar energy of your birthday. So I will give momentarily the list of the birthdays, those who are born with the solar energy of the Two of Clubs. But first, I just want to give a little bit of framing. Twos are all about partnership, right? All twos love partnership. And depending on the suit, that partnership, that union might be slightly different. This is the season of the club, summer season. We are going through the entire 13 weeks of summer season, going through the 13 cards of the deck, and it's all about conversation. That's what clubs represent. Conversation, knowledge, mind, mindset, intuition, anything around our mind. Yeah, how we communicate and all of that. So when you put the two with the club together, you get the card of conversation, of which you are. So you also might be a verbal processor. Do you like to verbally process through things with another? Like if you have something that you're working on.
Yeah, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, it comes out different. It's just good. I think I love having the feedback,
Yes.
having that different perspective, or just clarifying. It helps. Yeah, I never really thought of it that way, but you're absolutely
Right.
right.
I mean, that's just it's so interesting where it's just like, oh, yeah. Yeah, that resonates.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm glad it does. Now, on the low side of the two of clubs or of every two, there's a low side. And that is like what happens if you're not in partnership, if you're not in union, there's fear. And the fearful side is something that all twos kind of carry in their signature, fear of not being in relationship with some kind of form or other with another. Does that resonate? Would you say that fear is can I was
Yeah,
gonna say on your darkest days, but it doesn't even need to be on your darkest days. It could just be
no,
through
yeah,
what's going
no.
on.
Yeah, it's always been kind of a theme in my life, but I didn't really recognize it. Like I will say that learning about the two of clubs and it just helps me understand myself better. And at first I was like, I am not a fearful person. What are you talking about? But then I started thinking about it. Yeah, no, I have fearful dreams, at night. I had one last night, for heaven's
Fearful
sake.
thoughts, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah, totally. And things that I've learned that I have to shut them down in my head
mhm.
because I don't want to run with them. Like just shut it off because that's not truth. Yeah. So it's there. It's always there.
It
But
is.
yeah.
And I would like to say to a greater extent that I mean as humans, fear does serve a purpose. It is definitely there to keep us, safe or in a comfortable space. So we all carry fear, but it seems to be a little bit more amplified with twos. There's a greater fear of, of being alone. Because the two grows out of the one. The one is the ace, it's very comfortable being alone, seeking alone time, doing things for themselves, but the two is much more comfortable in a union, in a partnership of some kind.
Right.
So
Right.
the other way you can look at the low side or something to always be aware of, because again, it's our thoughts, it's how we communicate, is um, anger. Like how anger can and it's not necessarily part of your signature anger is a part of the two club signature, but where it might show up in a soul roadmap for somebody, particularly if you've got like the two of clubs in Mars, which already has a very kind of aggressive energy,
Yeah.
you might be more prone to just paying attention to your words, how you say them, how you share them, so that you can actually communicate, that the partner can hear what's being said.
Hmm. Yeah. I have to work on that a lot.
Do you?
I, oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't, you said Mars, but I don't know about that part, but
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of times I have to run things through my head. If I'm going to have a big talk, I am not a blurter. I don't blurt. Like I don't just say how I'm feeling
Mhm.
hardly ever. Probably because I actually want to have a conversation. I don't want to just shut things down.
There you go.
Yeah.
You go. And so, yeah, you might even, yeah, that's really good to know also that you're not just like a spontaneous. And that being said, we're going to get to the birthdays right now because you're a Scorpio two of clubs. So there are many, many birthdays of the two of clubs. So let me put on my how to say you're over 50 without saying you're over 50. Okay. My readers. Here we go. The birthdays with this, they start in May. May 30th is the Gemini Two of Clubs, June 28th, July 26th, August 24th, September 22nd, October 20th, November 18th,
Mhm.
and December 16th. So from Gemini through Sagittarius, we have all those birthdays that carry the energy of the two of clubs. Now, all of those cards, minus the Leo, that July 26th, the July 26th birthday, you are double two of clubs because your planetary ruling card is the sun. It is your sun card, so you get both of those. But everybody else, every other two of clubs carries a separate signature because the other side of their coin, I like to, I don't know, there's two sides of coin, right? Is that we have our birth card energy and our planetary ruling card energy, and that's what completes us and what makes all two of clubs just somewhat different. You are
Mhm.
also a special energy because you are not an ordinary, you don't have just one planetary ruler, but Scorpios have a double planetary ruler, their Mars card and their Pluto card. So, and that might be part of the reason when you're saying, like, I like to think. really before I share. I wonder how that differs from any May 30th birthdays. That's the Gemini, the card of conversation, or the sign of conversation of of perhaps even saying different things at one time. So I wonder if it's different. So if your birthday is on May 30th and you're listening right now, are you a blurter or are you a thinker before you converse? Just
It
something.
makes me wonder too, though, what about that fear part? Like I don't want to say the wrong thing, or
Mm.
it might come into play there. I don't know for sure,
Absolutely. That
but
is a
it could.
really, yeah, 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 yeah. Fear of not, and that you got to be so, that's where like our bodies can speak to us. If we suppress the things that we want to say, but fear overpowers us. It thinks it's keeping us safe by not saying the thing, but really, if that what needs to be said needs to be expressed and it's being suppressed instead, pay attention to your body. I'm currently experiencing some throat chakra issues about things that need to be expressed that maybe I haven't expressed or haven't expressed in the best way. So just paying attention to that is helpful. Um, Want to hear some fun birthdays so some fun celebrities that also share your two clubs energy?
Absolutely.
Okay,
We
let's look.
got
Oh, yes, the first one I see is this can be another one, how to say you're over 50. Scott Baio.
okay. Chat
Scott Baio, John Cusack, we've got looking at some of these lists. Mick Jagger is
Mm,
a two of clubs.
interesting.
He is a Leo to a clubs. So it's interesting because Leos are again the double. So he is a double two of clubs. And boy, did he communicate through his powerful lyrics and his words. Like and
Yeah.
Leos are like, watch me. I am here to shine. So
Oh, yeah, that definitely describes him.
I got the move. Another singer, Tom Petty, was also a two of clubs. Oh, the author Jane Austen, two
Mm,
of clubs. She is a Sagittarius or was a
okay.
Sagittarius, two of clubs. I love Jane Austen.
Mhm.
And just to throw it way back, I mean, she was born in 1775, but a predecessor to her is Ludwig van Beethoven, also
Yes.
a
Dun,
two.
dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. And both he and Jane Austen had the same birthday where their planetary ruling card was the four of diamonds. So
Mm,
interesting how, and it's also the suit of the club being just the suit of the mind and communication and sharing that you have some authors and some
mm,
composers, some musicians, some actors um, there.
love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I love writing. Writing is huge for me. And so it's nice to know I'm in good company.
Well, and I always think, I don't have a club as my I'll talk next week with the three of clubs. I have lots to say on the three of clubs because that's my Pluto card for life, one of my Pluto cards for life, how I'm being transformed through the writing process. And so it does, we all carry the suits with us. They all play different roles. But how writing also can be a form of conversation just with yourself. And that's why I was wondering, are you a verbal processor or perhaps, if you're a journaler like myself, I've always journaled.
Mhm.
And to a point, to a fault where sometimes like that was my first place to go is to my journal rather than to the person and learning to communicate. One of the two clubs played a big role in my soul roadmap. The year that I turned 47, it was the year I went through my divorce, and the two of clubs was that year my long range card, which is kind of like your umbrella for the year, this card of communication. And I was like, oh, I have to learn how to communicate better or differently, just paying attention to the words.
Yeah. Yeah, that I actually do both. So there you go, two of clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do both. I journal. I've journaled forever.
Have you
Uh,
really?
oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Um, Yeah, there's a lot. And so yeah, I can totally relate with that. But it is nice to be able to sit with somebody else and just that flow of conversation. It's
Exactly.
a different perspective and it's good.
It is. It is. And we can all use that. Yes, there's a time to go within and grab our own internal wisdom. And then there's a time, one of the things that we've done in the Joyful Soul Circle last season is we created our wisdom council. And these are the people that you trust, that you know that you can turn to if you're facing a really big decision in a certain area of your life, or you just want to talk about whatever it is, like having certain trusted people that you can talk to before, particularly before making a big decision. Yeah,
Yeah, so good.
yeah, powerful stuff. Do
Yeah.
you happen to have your soul roadmap? I didn't really prep you.
You know what? I totally meant to bring it and I don't have it in front of me.
It's okay. I'm the traveling magi. I'm pretty sure I
That's
can
right.
pull it up for you. But what we typically do after talking a little bit about the energies in the birthdays, here we go, glasses back on, is look into our soul roadmaps for the year, um, to see where the card might be showing up for us, if it shows up at all in our soul roadmap. So again, if the word soul roadmap is new to you and you're still trying to understand what all this means, essentially, what is different from the tarot, because a lot of people like to compare the Magi, myself included. I want to figure it out. But the universe is like, you just have to not figure everything out and just flow with it. But the tarot and the Magi, very similar. They're both have the four different symbologies and they have the numerology. What's different is that the soul roadmap or the Magi card science system is scientifically calculated. There is a mathematical formula and calculation which gives you your roadmap for life. So there was somebody who was just born a couple of days ago that I was able to, based on their birthday, look and see, oh, this baby is a king of hearts. This little tiny baby is going to grow up to be this master of love. That's part of their signature in their lifetime. And I can look at the whole soul roadmap up through age 90. I mean, the system repeats after age 45, which is really interesting. It's a very formulaic way of laying the cards. It's so fun to get into that, but it's laid out for you, right? It is laid out for you. And I always like to remind people we also have our free will to make the choices. When I do readings for people, I can offer suggestions. I can indicate, where they're going to be having a release, a letting go, a graduation, an up leveling, and where it's really in your best and highest good to release this energy, to let something go, to pay attention to what is no longer serving you in that certain area of your life and release it. But truth be told, you can hold on, you can resist. We all have free will here. So,
Absolutely. And that's so interesting that you said that because I was looking back at a lot of things and thinking, because the cards were not they were not making sense to me when I looked at
uh-huh.
some older stuff. And I realized, oh, well, I just made my own choices and
Yeah.
it went different ways.
Well, and that, right? Isn't that right? Like, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I know that I've made choices and we're supposed to. We signed up to come here to have the full array of experience. But I find that the majority of people that I serve are in their second volume of life. So I would say 45 and older. And usually there's something disruptive that has happened in their life that has brought them to me. They're at a crossroads. They're like, this shit ain't working anymore. Like, what's going on? And it's really fascinating because I also have some students who study with me this ancient wisdom. And the first thing I have them do is go back and kind of what we do in the soul circle too, to a lesser degree, but is look back and see what cards were present when certain life-changing decisions were made, when you were at a crossroads and you made a choice. What was what was present? And when you know better, you do better. But the truth is, like, I wish I knew this wisdom when I was in my marriage. I wish that I knew this, I mean, I can go back and back and back and back. And I wish I had access to this. And so we do the best that we can with what we have where we are. But once you know that there is a guidance system for you, it kind of is like this mystical roadmap, then, the choice to listen or not listen
Hmm.
maybe carries a little bit more weight. I don't know. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, it's a roadmap. Like, and you can always veer off the road and go, a different
Oh,
route, you know.
I could take the
It's a
scenic
roadmap.
route.
Yeah, and it's super helpful. It's like here's what to watch for or to be aware of. And it's just been really cool.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
awesome. I'm
Yeah.
glad. Okay. You've got three roadmaps, girl. So you know what? I'm just gonna do a quick share screen if you're okay with that. So
Sure.
people can see what a roadmap even looks like because yours is a little bit more complex, but are you able to see your roadmap
Yeah.
here? So yeah, so this is your yearly roadmap, and this is your two of clubs here. So what we're looking at is one roadmap up here, and this is just for this year. Quick scan, don't see any two of clubs. So
Mhm.
then I go to Kelly's secondary card, which is the six of spades, her Pluto card for life. So also, if you are a two of clubs, knowing that the six of spades is your Pluto card for life, we should talk about that. It's a pretty powerful card. But
Mhm.
also, your six of spades does not have the two of clubs at all this year. So I'm going to switch to your second planetary ruler, which is the four of hearts. That's your Mars card.
Mhm.
And clean sweep, no two of clubs for you. But you are a two of clubs. So, but it would be especially important if the two of clubs showed up for you as a two of clubs person. That's like pay attention. I'm going to switch this to mine really quick and you'll see that I do have the two of clubs this year. I had to look a little bit. And so I have my four of spades. This is my roadmap for the year ahead. I'm in my Venus period of my year. And then it's my 10 of diamonds side. And I have my secondary roadmap. Most people just have two. Mick Jagger has one. Love knowing that he's a Leo. But the two of clubs is here. It is my cosmic reward. And a cosmic reward is just a beautiful blessing. It is your Jupiter card on steroids. So, what it's saying, and I can open it up to read the basic meaning, is that I attain successful communication and transform any arguing that I do into cooperative mental relations. That's part of my focus for the year. This is the reward that is on the other side of me letting go of some stories, that nine of club. But it says the two of clubs in this position means that you are working on your ability to communicate with others. Yes, I am. You have a strong desire to communicate your ideas, your thoughts, and opinions with others. Yes. There may be a special message you want to convey. Yes. A tendency to argue may be brought to your attention by those around you. So, and that's that lower side. There's always a high and a low side. So, what I do as a Magi card certified reader is help people guide them towards the higher side because you know what? It feels better. It feels better when we're leaning into the higher side of those energies.
Absolutely.
So it says, whatever the case may be, you must make changes in the way you communicate if I am going to achieve harmony with others. But it's a positive card for me to work on my communication. And it's something in this position of the reward, it typically comes around at the end of the year that you see, oh, okay, okay, I let go of some stories. I let go of some old patterns of how I communicate because those are both club cards for me. So there's something about how I'm communicating, how I am learning. Um, there's intuition in there, but there's something about the challenge of letting go for me that is going to be rewarded with better communication in partnership with others. So that's exciting.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, that's
so
great.
It is in my roadmap. And if you want to know what is in your soul roadmap, what should they do, Kelly, if they want to know what's in their soul roadmap?
Oh my gosh, I think there's probably going to be a link below.
You're so smart. Yes. Yes, there is a link below. I have a soul roadmap clarity call, which is really just your introduction to get to know, well, what are my cards based on my birthday? And I could tell you a little bit about what your soul essence is all about. And really, get to know what are the challenges you're facing, where are you at in life, and how can these cards help guide you. And I find that just the basic knowledge of what your birth and planetary ruling cards are, what they mean, and then based on where you are in your life, like I could either look at your Pluto or any other cards, your karma cards, to give you a better perspective of how you have chosen. I'm going to say this again, how you have chosen to show up in this life. And again, it often takes that second 45 years, what I call again volume two, to really start understanding, oh, maybe I've been trying to do things my way. I've been forcing, I've been ego driven, I've been, uh, focused on outside external circumstances, but then life starts gearing you back towards yourself and be like, well, what am I doing here? The cards reflect your soul essence, who you came here to be. It is a tool in your spiritual tool belt, very much like understanding your human design, like understanding your astrological birth chart, your Enneagram. What are some other, do you have any other tools that you use to help you understand your soul essence, Kelly?
Gosh, all of those definitely. What was the one you said? I'm a generator. No,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not. I'm a projector.
Yeah, human design.
Yeah.
Human
Human
design.
design. Thank you. Yeah, that one is really big. And then astrology, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
tarot
So
a
many
little bit. Yeah.
so many people who have their human design read because that system just like it took off like boom. So many
Mhm.
people understand and are getting their human design knowledge and understanding, and then they come to me and they'll be like, "Wow, that's exactly what my human design said." It's like, well, because it's all based
Yeah.
on the stars, on that snapshot of the universe, the moment you took your first breath. So I would be happy to do a soul roadmap clarity call with you. And then I'm going to give a very special invitation to everybody who's listening in advance of Labor Day weekend that I am going to be speaking at a retreat in Mount Shasta. I'm going to be leading a retreat in Mount Shasta called The Rising of the Warrior Goddesses, where I'm going to be using the Soul Roadmap as a way to help you claim your authentic power and activate your soul gifts. The world is in need of your light right now, of everybody's light right now. 2025 has just been a year of dramatic change and it's not letting up because we are meant to grow and evolve and move into the next thing in our life, the next phase of our life, the next chapter of our life, the next volume of our life. And if you would like to do this with a community of women, we are going to be at a retreat center where we are going to step away from all the noise, from all the emails, all the texts, all the phone calls, all the social media. Step away from that communication noise so that we can step into our internal dialogue and conversation and converse again with nature and with one another in person and activate our soul gifts, like really get to understand how we were designed to be and and then using a lot of the specialties that some of the soul activators are bringing in, everything from nutrition. Like what would it feel like to have 5 days of being nourished by a woman, a warrior goddess herself? And I think that Tracy said that her name actually means warrior. I'll have to go back and listen to that conversation again. But to be nourished by somebody who cooks with love and intentionality of farm fresh foods, and she calls it farm to fork, from nourishment to breath work to ceremony, sacred ceremony, and gem elixirs and being on the mountain, all of that goodness that we can only get when we carve out the time for ourselves to get away so that we can tap into. So there is an invitation for you to the Rising of the Warrior Goddesses retreat. Spaces are filling up, but they are still available. I will also put a link in the show notes. I don't know what we call it, show notes in the description, for you to come and join us there. Is there anything else, my Two of Clubs friend, that you would like to share about your essence, what you would like other Two of Clubs to know, or maybe just how anything?
Anything. Well, one of the things that we didn't talk about too much was how the knowledge portion of it all.
Oh, yes.
Like, just, I love, love, love learning. I've loved learning about all of this. Like, it's so good, and I don't want to stop. Like, and you know so much. Like, if
Oh,
anybody, you guys talk to Andrea because she knows what the hell she's talking about. She's really good at it. And it's fascinating and it's super fun. And I'm glad that I am a two that loves to learn.
yes. Yeah, it's
It's
so
cool.
true. Like if you have the birthday of a club, welcome to being a lifelong learner, you know? And specifically, oh my gosh, I almost didn't even mention what one of the things that's so important for specifically the Two of Clubs is your first karma card happens to be the card that represents the entire Magi system. I'm trying to find it really quickly to do something dramatic, and I'm all disheveled. It's the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades being your first karma card is really powerful information to know because it is not just the symbol of the Magi, but of a lot of mystical wisdom and secret societies and stuff like that. So I think that gives Two of Clubs people a driving fascination to know more. Like there's a part of when it's our first karma card or what I call often your spirit card, you came in to learn more about this, to step into this knowledge and this wisdom and to use it in a powerful way. So that Ace of Spades karma card is part of that for you. But thank you also for saying what you said. I
Oh,
do love
yeah.
learning and every day and every reading, honestly. Ready? Dun,
It's
dun,
so,
dun,
there it is. There's that beautiful card. I was going to say, oh, yeah, it makes a nice card.
dun.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, it's really cool actually being a Scorpio. We already have kind of that mysticism kind of thing. So
Yes.
when I found out about the Ace of Spades, it was kind of like confirmation, like, yeah, you are supposed to be learning these things. And yes, this is your thing. Like you were
Yeah.
born under it.
Exactly.
That's
And
so cool.
that's what's so much about claiming your authentic power is like just having a reflection of you and then it'll blow your mind where you're just like seriously playing cards like poker, go fish, and it's reflecting back to me my soul essence, but it really, really does, and that's what it did for me as well, in a different way, but it just helped me accept more fully who I am, and it's a lovely gift to give yourself that piece of just stopping trying to be like somebody else or fit into somebody else's version of what they think you should be and then just claiming like this is who I am. This is how I was designed. And then
That's good stuff.
good stuff. Well, it has been so fun to have you here. I am so grateful for you, just as you show up every week in our membership group, but then also taking the time to be here today to share a little bit about what it feels like to be a Two of Clubs. Come back
Absolutely.
next week, everybody, as we will talk about the writer's card, the Three of Clubs. And until then, here's to love and joy in the journey. Bye.
Bye.